Imagine you have a magical pen, one that can write the story of your life that you want for yourself. Well, if you have a magical pen, let me know in the comments, but otherwise, we're probably out of luck. However, there is something we do have that acts like this magical pen for writing your story. It's self-determination, this inner reservoir of power that allows us to decide what we want for ourselves, go into the world, and make it happen. If you are feeling stuck in your career, your health, your mental health, your relationships, or even sobriety, feeling held back by some habit you want to kick but just can't seem to let go of. I've been there too. For 10 years, in and out of hospitals, on and off drugs, broke and desperate. I felt like I tried everything. 12-step groups, therapy, meds, counseling, and none of it worked. Until one day I decided I'm going to do this, even if I don't know how. And I took back that pen of my life. You see, for all those years, I was doing what I see a lot of people do. Maybe this is part of your story, where we give this pen of our life to our past, to our trauma, the color of our skin, or other disadvantages that we're up against, our addiction, depression, anxiety, our partner, the economy, whatever it is. There's no shortage of challenges that are there waiting to borrow the pen of our life, to write our story for us. But you see, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't. Self-determination allows us to be the authors of our own stories. And here's a few different concepts that help us understand what this means and how we can put it to work in our lives. The first is self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is another way of saying our belief in ourselves and our abilities to accomplish a specific goal. SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, conducted a massive study where they found that all the different methods of treatment for substance abuse recovery rose and fell on this single element, self-efficacy. Do we believe that we can do it? When we have self-efficacy towards a specific goal, whether it's staying sober, starting a new career, repairing our relationship, repairing our health, overcoming those emotional blockages that are standing in the way of the life that we want to live, the most important factor is whether or not we believe that we can. Who's holding the pen? Another key element that supports self-determination is what Martha Beck, a PhD author out of Harvard, calls growth mindset. The growth mindset is when we see that we can get better at what we choose to by investing our effort in that particular skill, rather than seeing the way we speak with people, the way we respond to challenges, the way that we feel as a personal attribute. We look at it as a skill or a set of skills that we can integrate and build in our lives to reach the outcome that we're looking for, rather than a fixed mindset where we say to ourselves, it's just who I am. In that fixed mindset, it's so easy to get stuck. But when we embrace a mindset of growth, that we can develop these skills, there's so much progress that can be made. Another key element of this is an internal versus an external locus of control. This concept originated with William James, one of the godfathers of psychology. And he saw that when he was going through his own stuff, he was placing the blame outside of himself, on his parents and his health and this and that. But when he took that blame and put it on himself, something incredible happened. He also gained back his power. So when we're going through life feeling frustrated, not getting the results that we want, one of the best things we can do is say, what's my part in this? Where do I have responsibility for this outcome? And in taking that responsibility, we also take back the power to change that for ourselves. When we look at the outcomes we have, especially the ones we don't like, it's important to remember that our behavior plays a role in creating that outcome. And if we want a different one, we've got to change that behavior. Now, I don't know about you. I've had plenty of behavior changes that I've tried to install in my life, and they would come and go just as quickly. You see, when I felt like doing it, I'd do it. But if I didn't, then I didn't. And part of that emotional shift was the attitude that I carried with me into that decision to do that behavior or not in any particular day. You see, we have the outcome, which is determined by the behavior. And the behavior often comes from an emotion, which stems from an attitude. But there's another layer beneath all of this that is the most stable and robust place for us to focus when we want to create lasting change in the outcomes we experience in the story of our life. And that is identity. You see, our identity is really our story. The story we tell ourselves about ourselves and who we are in this world as we see it. And that story is composed of our memories and our values and our beliefs. Sometimes those memories and those beliefs can get us out of alignment with the values that we want to see for ourselves. And we look around at what we're doing and how we're living, and if we're honest, we start to see my behavior is not matching my values. So the question becomes, what are those beliefs that are pulling me to the side? And how are those memories distracting me from my true goals? That's where this guy comes in. That magic pen to write the story of our life can begin by rewriting those beliefs, those memories. Now, a magic pen like this can help us accomplish the goals that we want for our future, but it can also help us to cross out, to revise those beliefs, those memories that are pulling us away, causing distress and limiting our belief in ourselves. So the question becomes, are you ready to be the author of your own story? The question then is, where are you giving your pen away? Is it to your depression, anxiety, addiction, your past, trauma, relationships, the economy, wherever it is? It's up to you to take that pen back and begin writing the story that you want to see for your own life, to take ownership, and in doing so, take back the power for self-determination. The first step is to reflect. What are those beliefs that are limiting me, constraining my power, that I have the privilege of rewriting and replacing with more empowering beliefs? And as you do that, really embracing them, letting them sink in at a deep level, reflecting and meditating on those new beliefs until they really start to stick. And as you go through your life and you continue to see these limiting beliefs rising up, notice them and challenge yourself to act a little bit differently. And as you continue backing these new beliefs with action, you'll notice a synergistic effect where one change leads to another and another. And you notice the confidence building, the changes taking place, how as your identity shifts, so too does your attitude, the feelings, and the behaviors that rise from this new story. And as those behaviors start to change, the story inside of us starts to become the story we live. And we see those changes taking place all around us. But it starts with you taking back that pen and putting in the effort to rewrite that story. If you're looking for breakthrough, you can find more content like this here on the channel. And for exclusive access to the 30-day break-free blueprint, click the link below. Whatever you're going through, there's hope on the other side. And you have the power to determine who you will be, what your story will become, as soon as you take back that pen and start writing.